Greetings fellow penguins, it's Danish here, we're back with a new playthrough. It's Dark Cloud. Oh my god, I love this game. Now, I know I've left it a while in between uploads, with the exception of Cherish the Humanity, of course. The reason for that is my Xbox is kind of away on repair, because it stopped reading the disc again. It's the open tray error. So I gotta wait a while for it to be repaired. I'm sending the fucker to the Czech Republic, so it's gonna take a while. Sent it off on Tuesday. It's Sunday today, and I still haven't heard anything back. Yeah, a lot of issues with trying to get it delivered as well, which I got sorted now. No, don't do that. Piss off. No. Come on. I can't get out of it. Yes, I know, level 5. Piss off. But yeah, I wanted to play through. I wanted to play through Dust and Elysian Tale, because I did get that during the Games for Gold. I wish I didn't. I honestly wish I paid for it, because it's such a brilliant game. There's a couple of things I wanted to play through on the Xbox, but I can't. And it doesn't help that 2 days ago I did get Borderlands the pre-sequel, which I've been dying to play, but I can't. And I say that because over here, over in the UK, it was released on the 17th. Everywhere else got it earlier than that. Dicks. Anyway, new game. Now, this isn't quite an interesting game. It was released back in 2001, I think. Anyway, a book was found in some old ruins. All the scholars who decoded it puzzled over the mystery of the book. A world with 2 moons illuminating the sky. The many dazzling adventures of a young boy. As usual. That's the cliche, it always has to be in the adventures of a young boy. Whether or not this is a true story, do you believe in the story woven in the book? Maybe it's a fantasy that existed only in a boy's heart. Let me tell you the story. This ancient book tells of a magical and magnificent fairy tale. You don't need to do that. And the hero of this wondrous tale, whose name was... That's not even spelled right. Right. No, his name was not Tone. So you do get to name every protagonist you find, because Tone, or Danish of course, he's not the only protagonist you play as. There's 6 different characters that you get as you play through the game. You do get to name all of them. So, we will build up our penguin army appropriately. Darkshrine. It's quite the interesting game. When we get to the cutscenes, I'll explain why. I remember I had a demo disc that I kept replaying of this. It was basically like a 20-minute demo, but I fucking loved it. Gathered quite a few of them. I had a hard time finding dancers with the right qualifications. Look at them. A dance of blood. Mixing the blood of witches with that of humans is the key to breaking the seal. However, I do have some problems. In order to procure good material, you do need adequate... I see, I'll pay you extra. That should solve the problem, huh? Yes, sir, thank you. So when will it happen? Very soon, sir. Let us enjoy the ceremony till it is time. Considering it's a cutscene, you can't go through the speech at your own pace. Sometimes it's difficult to catch. It just comes and goes quite fast. This is fucking weird, man. This confused me when I first saw this. I wasn't sure what to think. Flag, sir, do you know the legend of the Dark Genie sealed in the urn? Of course. How much money do you think I put into acquiring this urn? I've been waiting for this for years. Like I said, it comes and goes. I couldn't quite read the last line. 400 years ago, the Genie of Darkness appeared in the east, and with its evil power, the world was burnt away. What do you intend to do with such frightening power in your hands? You'll see. So now is the time. Sir, so it seems. This is the Genie, the Dark Genie? Well, it's quite different than I imagined. I love that look on Flag's face, like, oh, you little shit. The Ancient Dark Genie, this is it? Hey, who are you guys? Welcome back, Genie of Darkness. I brought the seal and released you. Therefore, I am your master. Oh, is that right? Whatever, fine. That's right, I haven't eaten for 400 years. I have to eat something, I need food. Food! Got you! What? I love that he just picks the fat guy and noms him. Stop it, help! I love that. Delicious. So yeah, the Dark Genie has been released after 400 years from being sealed in an urn. That's the premise. And now Flag's gonna use it to fuck shit up. Hi, how are you today? It's already started, come on, let's go. It's already started, come on, let's go. I don't know, you have to repeat the same fucking thing. Yeah, I told you should have hurried. Now we can do it at our own pace. Come on, we're late. I'm a staff member this year, so I have to go, sorry. Oh, she left you. Danish, hurry up. Alright. Look at the insects squirm about. Start here. Or something like that. Yeah, that motion blur that we get from the genie, that is deliberate. And also slightly nauseating. Yeah, a lot of cut. Jesus Christ, we're already over 12 minutes in and we've still got cutscenes. This is. I think this might be longer than Okami. Hi there. Can you hear me? Open your eyes. Wake up. Hey! Oh yeah, and this is one of those the main guy doesn't talk kind of games. I am the Fairy King. I'm the entity that unites all of nature's spirits. Listen well, young one, something bad has happened. Men blinded by greed have revived the Dark Genie. The Dark Genie is terribly powerful. Its power is so great that it could destroy the entire world. You saw it, your own village being destroyed right before your eyes. Not just a village. In a flash, many villages and towns were destroyed. In one night, half of your world was annihilated. It must be the men from the east that performed the resurrection ceremony. Probably thinking to use its black demon power for war without realizing how frightening it was. It is darkness, pure darkness itself. Long ago, this so-called Dark Genie almost destroyed the entire world. Its malevolence is that great. The bad thing is that it has the same type of magical power as the spirits. Unfortunately, we aren't powerful enough to destroy it. Young man, I see that you have a strong will that could withstand the evil power. Also a clear, kind heart. You might be able to fight against the darkness it generates. I decided to stake our fate on you. Let me bless you with power. Oh my god! There, surprise? That's called Atla Miller. It's a stone with a magical power. Oh, don't look that way, boy. I'll explain now. It might get too bright for your eyes for a moment. Do you know where this is? This is no simple empty lot. This was your village. But don't lose heart. As long as you have that stone, you can return it to its original form. Indeed, just before the village was destroyed by that genie, I saved the buildings and people by seeing them as spheres called Atla. It seems those Atla were scattered around by its tremendous magic power. Probably blown to different places around the world. It probably thinks everything is destroyed. You must restore the world before it realises what happened. Absorb that which I sealed in Atla using the Atla Miller and bring them back. Then you'll be able to restore the world to its original form. May even be able to create a better world than before. You don't seem to understand anything I'm saying. Oh well, I'll give you another lesson when you acquire some Atla. So long. So yeah, that is the basic premise of the game. It took 15 minutes to get through. So yeah, the assholes from the east ended up reviving the Dark Genie so that they could fuck shit up after it's been asleep for 400 years. How dangerous can you hear them? You should be able to hear them. Voice of the wind, voice of the trees, voice of the animals, and voice of the earth. They are calling for your help. You'll probably meet and say goodbye to many people. In talking to those people, you may receive clues in defeating the darkness. Look for them. Now the initial adventure will begin. First, go to the village chief's house. He'll show you where to go next. So yeah, 400 years, the Dark Genie's been revived, and now people of the East are using him to fuck shit up. Now you've got the help of the Fairy King, you've got to rebuild shit. Which is a nice little mechanic, you just hit select, edit mode. This is obviously no use now because we have no Atla. But the Atla is found in dungeons, which have a mystery dungeon-esque feel, purely because the floor is randomised every time in layout. You still do the same thing, but the floor is randomised. Ah, Danish, you're alive. Seems like we're the only ones in the village that survived. We never dreamt this would happen. One night and our village is gone. Can you believe this, Danish? I feel so helpless. I, the mayor of the village, can't do anything about it. What am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to fucking know? I'm the one that's been given the Atla Miller. I guess the only thing we can do is to get the help from the guardian of Nolan Village, Dran. Dran will not abandon us. He'll help us for sure. I have a favour to ask, Danish. Go to the Divine Beast Cave and tell Dran what happened. Divine Beast Cave is the cave outside towards your right hand side. You've probably seen it before. I may be imagining this, but I sense something has changed about the cave. Be careful. This is the cave key. I put the things you might need in your bag for you. Don't get carried away. If you get in trouble in there, come back here, I'll get you more supplies. Good luck. Going here first, you can grab a prickly, which is useless until you get a fishing rod, which I'll be honest, I never fish, so I just sell all the bait I get. Once we find a shop to rebuild. Right. Here we are. This is the Divine Beast Cave. Problem is, there's a lot of talking going on. We've barely done any gameplay, purely because there's so many cutscenes and talking. No voice acting, I think you've already gathered. So we're in the Divine Beast Cave. Right, we've got most floors have 8 Atla on them, and that little symbol on the right is basically how many enemies you killed. So here we go, and suddenly I have a fucking dagger. I'm gonna cut you, slag. It's for real this time, Danish. From here on, you will be put to the true test. First, conquer this wretched Divine Beast's cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon. First, to advance to the next floor in the dungeon, acquire a gate key for the door leading to the next floor. Each dungeon has a different gate key. For the Divine Beast cave, Dran's crest will be the gate key. Gate key is almost always carried by a monster in the dungeon. You must defeat the monsters to acquire the gate key. Since you can't tell which one has it, just defeat them all one by one. Next I'll tell you about how to return to the ground level, rather than advancing to the next floor. To return to ground level, mind connect with me. In other words, speak with your mind. I love how he says that as if it's easy. When you do this, I will transport your body to the ground level. Just select Leave Dungeon from the main menu. But be aware, if there are monsters left on the floor, the Mind Connect won't work. It will be blocked by their evil energies. In such cases, use the item Escape Powder to get out on your own. The Nolan Village Chief has lots of it, so be sure to get it before you go. You can also Mind Connect with me when you go through the gate to the next floor of the dungeon. When you re-enter the dungeon, you can start at the next new level, so you don't have to worry about losing progress. Next is onto weapons. Jesus Christ! I never really appreciated just paid attention to how much bloody text there is. Be aware, weapons are breakable. The more you use a weapon, the more it wears and finally breaks. Broken weapons will disappear, To prevent weapons from breaking, use the item repair powder and it will store their WHP. The longer you use a weapon by repairing it, the more magic it absorbs from monsters and thus becomes stronger. It's said that when a weapon reaches its full strength, it can change into a more powerful form. Keep that in mind. I cast a special spell on the dagger, so you have on you, so it'll never disappear. But all the new weapons you get during the quest will disappear once they break, so be careful. Don't waste your hard work by letting a weapon break and disappear. Finally! Oh my word! So much text, I am actually exhausted. Important stuff: the sphere, Atla, where I protected and sealed the fragments of the world. If you see an Atla, don't hesitate to touch it. You can absorb the contents of Atla into Atla by touching it. When you return to the surface, you'll be able to begin reassembling these fragments of the world. Whoops, today's lesson ran a little long. You think? That's it for the lecture. Now, show me your true ability on this quest. Right, that's a lot to take in. So yeah, I gotta kill enemies. One of them will drop the dungeon's gate key. Now, this game has a weapon HP mechanic as well. So as you use a weapon, it'll lose endurance, and if it hits 0, it'll break. A character's default weapon won't disappear, but it'll obviously become near unusable, considering because of how weak it'll be. Well, see, you just move up to them, hit X, and it'll absorb whatever's in there. Most floors will have 8 Atla on them. And you can, for the most part, you find other weapons within dungeons. There's a lot to take in, isn't there? All at once, at least. Now, this does have a bit of RPG elements, but the character itself doesn't level up. It's the weapons that level up. Oh no, I'm used to hitting the shoulder buttons to change the camera. I've been playing so many different games. You find weapons in larger chests, but you've got to be careful. Sometimes chests are booby-trapped, and you have to guess the trap in order to open it. If you guess wrong, the trap is triggered. If not, the trap is disarmed. And sometimes, once you start hitting the higher floors, some of the chests themselves are actually monsters, and that includes the big chests, which gets very annoying when you think, oh yeah, finally I've got another weapon here. No, it's just a king mimic. That is annoying as hell. We've got wind and ice. That's one thing as well, you get attachments for your weapons to strengthen them. In fact, let's have a look at the customization. For one thing, obviously your weapon has abs. ABS, that's basically experience. I'm not entirely sure what that stands for. Usually it's XP, not abs. My weapon has abs. But your weapon has assigned elements, attack strength, endurance, which is basically how quickly it'll run out of WHP, speed, which is how fast you can use it, and MP. MP is a magic power, how effective your attribute is. 5 different attributes: fire, ice, thunder, wind, and holy. And you've also got 10 other stats, which are basically effectiveness against certain enemies. You've got dragon, beast, flying enemies, undead, fish, metal enemies, mimics, rock, plants, and mages. So it's quite a bit of, I wouldn't say customization, but a lot to upgrade, to take in. These are basically your attachment slots. That's where the stuff in, here goes. See what I mean? This powers up the wind attribute. I'm not going to waste any on the dagger because there's no point in upgrading your default weapon because it's so bad. Once you find another weapon, it'll be head and shoulders better than your default. Also, bearing in mind, while you're in a dungeon, there is a thirst mechanic as well. represented, but you see the 3 bars on the top left? One health, one is obviously health, one is obviously WHP, and the other is your thirst. If that hits 0, your health will start to deteriorate. Oh, Macho's house. You've got to be careful with these bats as well. That's one thing I always used to have trouble with when I used to play the demo. Over and over again, the bats always used to get me. And for the most part, if the bats touch you, they poison you. And the WHP is already running very low. Oh, but we can upgrade it. No point in sticking with it, but not much of a choice right now, is there? I'll have to repair it as well. That's annoying. You've got to be careful with your endurance as well. Obviously, there'll be some enemies that deal more damage to your WHP than others. For example, rocky enemies will damage your weapon a bit more than, say, an undead. Oh, there's the gate key. But yeah, with thirst, usually you carry different bottles of water. There's regular water, there's tasty water, and then there's premium. Right now, regular water is all we need because we only have 3 units of thirst, which can be upgraded as we go along. Something I'll explain later once we get to it. And I'm not used to running this slow. I'm used to having Drann's Feather to run twice as fast, but I can't get one right now, so that is slightly annoying. It's one thing you want to stock up on: Drann's Feathers and repair powders. Now you've already seen I've already used the only repair powder I have, so I am going to need to go back and top up. Oh, lovely. Oh, got them both. Now, sometimes you'll find things like this, which refill your health and your thirst meter. You don't find them on every floor, so don't solely rely on it. There will be points where you need to keep multiple units of multiple items to refill your thirst, and of course your health. It's best to organise your items as well. You do that using the square button. Oh jeez, I keep fucking yawning. Yeah, the pacing does feel quite slow when you first start. Oh look, we found a stray cat. That cat will be significant once we get to a certain floor. I mentioned speed on a weapon. Notice at the bottom left there's a little speed meter. As you use it, it goes down, and then when you stop using it, it goes back up. It's basically how fast that ends up recharging. Next room. One other thing, and push triangle to open your options menu, which is very odd. GRR parts. You can actually start rebuilding stuff from the dungeon, but obviously you can't place it down. Macho goes here. Come on, open up. And speed +2. More attachments. I want another weapon, personally. This thing annoys me. Oh, we dropped some cash. A potato cake. Again, that's only fishing bait. And a map. Of course, every floor has a map and a magical crystal. Well, most floors, sorry. All normal floors. Obviously the boss room doesn't. Oh, windmill blades. The boss room of course doesn't, and there are, on every dungeon there are some floors which are just one room for a specific event. Keep that in mind. Oh, he's dropped the gate key, I just saw it. Alright. No need to kill anything now. I'll kill these two and then be done with it. Whoa. Ah, son of a bitch, he hit me. Right. I should be thankful though. I don't need to kill anything else now because I got no fucking repair powder. I was hoping I'd get the crest before this thing ran out. I would like to see this remade. What is odd about this game, I find very odd, something I've not seen in any other game. There's actually something in this game that's not in the Japanese version, which is odd. Usually it's stuff that's in the Japanese version, but nowhere else. And that's an extra dungeon called the Demon Shaft, which you only unlock upon beating the game. It's a 100-floor dungeon, and it's the only way to get the Chronicle 2 sword, which is the most powerful sword in the game. You can't upgrade it. Now this is a gamble. This can give you either a perk, that can either help you or screw you over. Oh, pumped with energy, so stamina. I take less damage and deal more damage, basically. Sometimes I can pump monsters with energy. Sometimes it can do far worse. Sometimes it can increase your maximum WHP or increase your abs to full, so you can upgrade it instantly. Sometimes it'll get rid of some of your WHP, knocking it down, sometimes a significant amount. So you've got to be careful with those things. I just go over them anyway because I like to gamble. Sometimes it can increase or decrease your funds by a significant amount. So it's a risk. I really should go back to the village after this floor. Don't worry, as time goes on we will be able to speed things up because I will start getting more repair powders and dragon's feathers. I'm only going through here because I need to get the Atla. Macho. I think that's Macho's older brother. Yes, it is. Oh, we've got Gaffer's buggy here as well. Good. Gaffer's buggy, that is actually the village shop. So we are going to need to rebuild that. Another lamp. That'll probably be for Macho's house. Oh, that was close. Right, come on, I need to get to that little yellow marker. Oh, with that question mark, that's basically the the entrance to the back, to the back of the floor. If you have a certain item for every dungeon, which you get randomly and rarely in a chest, you use that to get to the back floor, which has much more powerful enemies, but much better items in chests. Leave the dungeon temporarily. Now this game contradicts itself with certain things, like right now it says Nolan Village, but some of the characters call it No Run with an R and an E at the end, so No Rune. And this is an odd bug. What's even weirder is this didn't happen in the demo. Walking on the fucking spot. We got Michael Jackson here. Seems like you finally came back with some Atla. Very well then, I shall teach you as I promised. The pieces sealed inside Atla are released by touching the Atla with your left hand, where the power of Atla Miller resides. Buildings and people that were sucked into the Atla Miller will be restored to their original form. Once you bring them back to the ground level, you can arrange them as you wish. By going back and forth between the dungeon and ground level, you can restore the Earth to its original form. That's your mission as the one who was granted the power of the Atla Miller. Now let's move on. Let's make it a bit technical. If you want to place buildings, etc., press the select button while walking to go into edit mode. I did demonstrate that. Although it says there diorama menu, but in the actual release it's georama, not diorama. Press the select button again to return to walking mode. In edit mode, you can reassemble buildings that have fallen apart and place them on the ground. Seeing is believing, try it yourself. Must be faster than listening to my lecture. I love that, yeah it is. Oh yes, and if you ever forget the things I teach you, use this. A fucking manual. Nobody reads the manual. There's a guide for using Atla Miller and other things. I wrote it for beginners like you. I'm not a beginner, asshole. Manual can be selected from the main menu. Read it carefully. Okay, I leave the world's reconstruction to you. We'll be watching. So long. Right, that's yet another tutorial. That gets annoying. I'd like to think that is a tutorial done wrong. So I mean, it says there georama, not diorama. So I assume that was maybe while the game was in a beta or something. Now one thing also to bear in mind. On top of rebuilding their houses, people have certain requests when you place them. Like maybe they want to place near somebody or away from somebody or in a certain spot. Maybe tilted in a certain direction, their house facing a certain direction kind of thing. Everyone has their own special request. Now, you know I mentioned how the characters can be upgraded. As you go through the dungeon, in Danish, when I say at the day of the festival, I remember a light flashed from the sky and the house disappeared. After that, I don't remember a thing. Hang on, the stars. Every time, one thing to keep in mind as well, when you rebuild somebody's house and put somebody there, you need to ask them how to rebuild their house, because then you know, then it lets you put stuff on there if you have it. A fence in the land would be nice. We had stuff any decent person would have. There we go. Now we can place a fence and a lamp there. Now, like I was saying, as you go through the game, as you go through the dungeon, you go through lower floors, there'll be little chests dotted around the village, and they contain a lot of useful items. We haven't got far at all, so there's not going to be much here. What would we get? We got bread and tasty water. You can get Fruits of Eden, which increase your maximum health. You can get gourds, which increase your thirst meter. Mr. Man, you smile green bright today. Right, what do we need? Expand my room and a barbell. So we need the annex room and the bar, and where is it? There it is, barbell. Macho's house is done! And of course, once you complete somebody's house, there'll be a little event and they'll give you some kind of reward. Usually it's an item, but sometimes it could be something else. Oh, Danish, you done it! Thanks to you, our house is back to normal again. Yeah, this is for you. Keep it. There we go. That's a Stonebreaker attachment. Oh dear. Hey, that's mine. Hey, bro. What do you think you're doing? Like I always tell you, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. That's how things between big brothers and little brothers should be. Can't take this anymore, bro. We're gonna settle this with a battle. Gotta love that shit-eating grin. Oh really? Ready when you are. So they're basically beating the ever-loving shit out of each other. Brothers. I'll go back in there. It might be a chest for us to open, maybe? Okay, never mind. Not until later. But yeah, it's much easier to find a chest if you hit R2 because you go first person view. You can actually move about. No, I want to do it. No. One thing to keep in mind, it's much easier to connect shit through roads. You want to do that. You really do want to do that. Right, I always have a certain way of rebuilding because it always satisfies them. Let's get this way. I haven't found old Gaffer yet, so we can't rebuild anything. We can't rebuild his shop. Ooh, looking at it, I could use that ice gem, couldn't I? So one thing as well, it's got a little quick select. I suppose a little hotkey for 3 different items, which you can use with the square button while you're in a dungeon. Now look, it's Dran. Dran's watched over us. Really, when this time even Dran's windmill, where Dran's magical power dwells, is destroyed. Okay, so now he's topped up our items. If you're missing any items that he gave you, or you've used them, talk to him again, and he'll give you some more. There we go, see? There we go. Now I've got another repair powder. Always have key items first, and manual apparently counts as a key item. Okay, so we're ready to continue. There's only 7 here. Right then, here we go. And we got another fucking tutorial. I love how he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm back. Exciting, eh? Don't give me that look. This is for your benefit. Piss off. Now here's the intermediate course. I won't repeat myself, so listen carefully. First, the lock-on. You already know that pressing circle locked on the monsters. Red target frame will appear around the enemy for as long as they're locked on. However, you may not have known the L1 and R1 buttons functions change during lock-on. Pressing L1 during lock-on switches to another enemy. Pressing L1 repeatedly cycles through the enemies in your field of view. Pushing R1 activates your guard, which allows you to defend from enemy attacks. Don't forget about the guard function, it can save you in the heat of battle. I never use it, to be fair. Also, did you know about the attribute to change the function for your weapons? This changes weapons' element attributes. There are 5 attributes: fire, ice, thunder, wind, and holy. Many monsters are vulnerable to a specific attribute. To change your weapon's attribute, use the attribute or customized command in the weapons menu and change it there. Of course, you can't activate an attribute unless a weapon has points for that attribute. What do you think? Easy, eh? Don't want to fry your noodles, so that's enough for the info for this time. Good luck to you, boy. See you soon. No! Oh fuck, I accidentally hit square, and I'm too used to hitting square for the fucking Grand's Feather to speed up. I just wasted my ice gem. Oops. I'm hoping to come across another weapon soon, because the dagger is not going to last me. Not at all. What have we got? Magic crystal. And oh, stamina drink, that'll be useful. As you can imagine, a statue, considering he's metal, he deals more damage to your WHP. Bit of an asshole to kill as well. Jesus Christ, there's 3 of them. That first one nearly halved my WHP. I don't want to... I really don't want to tangle with these guys unless I have to. Not yet, anyway. I'll leave these guys behind. I need another weapon. And the problem is, in Nolan Village, there's no one who actually gives you another weapon as a reward. Some more water. Okay, there is a little fountain up the top right. So, I mean, I'm not going to need the water this time. Claw, that's the fat guy we saw. Okay, dash it. We'll take out all the regular enemies, leave these statues. If we have to, we'll go through them once everything else is dealt with. And just hope that we get Drowned Crest. Oh, and there's Statue Dog. Oddly, those guys don't take as much WHP. Endurance +1, that'll be useful. But I want to save all that shit before I get another weapon. Minun, whatever the hell that is. Yet another bait for fishing. Of course it's taking extreme fucking damage, that's not helpful. Come across far too many statues. Oh come on, that's fucking cheating! We found a total of 7 statues altogether, considering I killed 1. You can't just pile me with statues. Especially not at this level. Jesus Christ, there's another one here! My dagger is not going to last me. That's all that's left. Oh no, there's a skeleton. All that is left are statues. I am not going to be able to last. Oh dear, hang on, wait. That's one thing you do. While you're locked on, hold X, and once you flash once, let go and you'll do a little aerial attack. And that does more damage. This is a huge issue. Far too many stats. It's only floor 3 of the first fucking dungeon, and I haven't been given a weapon yet. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh, come on! His dead body got in my way. I'm gonna have to let it break. I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to. Unless, hang on, maybe I can throw poisonous apple at him. Believe it or not, that can actually be used as a. Oh, there we go, poisoned him. And it broke. It's a default weapon, so it won't disappear. Jesus Christ, this is a nightmare. And I can't repair it either. And no, see, this is what I mean. There's no balancing. I've never actually had this issue before. Usually by now I've had another weapon. Or I've had at least a couple of repair powders to last me long enough. I have no choice but to leave the dungeon. I'm not going to survive with a weapon that does 1 hit point worth of damage. That is quite bad, I will admit that. I'm not going to have much of a choice but to keep restarting until one of the weaker enemies drops the crest. Right. I keep hitting start just to get to the inventory. Okay, dagger's repaired. Right, time's getting on. It's been nearly an hour now, so I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully when we get back, we'll have more luck with this dungeon. Hopefully. Well, then again, hang on. Before we do, can I get a few things? Nothing useful. A llama! Oh, it's my llama, apparently. Okay, I'll take it. So yeah, we're going to leave it for now. There's nothing else to rebuild. Oh, and of course there is a day-to-night cycle. So yeah, not the best start, considering I've already broken the dagger once because there's too many fucking statues on floor 3 of the first dungeon. That is quite bad. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a favourite, subscribe so that you can become part of the Penguin Army today, and we will defeat the Chair Squad. And until next time, fellow penguins, Danish out.